I never forget the moment I heard the thunder. It wasn't just any thunder. No, this thunder shook the very air around me, and it came with a warning. A warning from Shango, the king of thunder himself. If you've ever heard the skies roar with fury, then you know exactly what I mean. But what if I told you that the wrath of Shango is not just a storm? It's a power, an ancient force that does not forgive, and once it's unleashed, nothing can stop it. Brace yourself. This story is about a king, a god, and the anger that changed everything. Shango was not born like other kings. He was born with the power of the storm. From the moment he arrived in the world, it was clear that his presence would shape the fate of the land. The land of the Yoruba had never seen anything like it. They say his mother, Yemoja, knew from the start that her son would be a king, but not just any king. No, Shango would be the king of thunder, fire, and lightning. He would rule with a power that no one could contest. But power doesn't always come without a price, does it? With every thunderclap, Shango's heart grew heavier. He wanted to rule, yes, but not with fear. He wanted to command respect, not terror. But respect, that's something you have to earn. Shango's kingdom was vast, beautiful, powerful, and rich. But, like all great rulers, Shango had his enemies. One of the greatest was his own brother, Ogun, the god of iron. Ogun was strong, fearless, and believed that the land and its people should be ruled with an iron fist. He didn't trust Shango's style of leadership. He thought power should come from strength, not from the storms. The two brothers clashed many times, but it wasn't until Ogun betrayed Shango that the real storm began to brew. Ogun, feeling threatened, stole Shango's most powerful possession, the double-headed axe, a gift from the gods themselves. And that was the moment Shango realized, the only way to defend himself was with the wrath of thunder. The skies grew dark, and the winds began to howl. Shango's rage was more powerful than any storm the world had ever seen. His thunder shook the mountains, his fire scorched the earth, and his lightning split the heavens. The world knew he was angry, furious, in fact. The king of thunder had been challenged, and he would make sure the world would never forget it. Shango's first target was Ogun. With the double-headed axe in hand, Ogun tried to escape to the mountains, thinking he could outrun Shango's fury. But no one outruns the king of thunder. The sky cracked open with a roar, and lightning struck the very ground beneath Ogun's feet. There was no escape. The earth trembled, and in an instant, the storm became a wall of fury, blinding light, deafening thunder, and the crackling of fire as Shango struck down upon his brother. But even with all his power, Shango felt something inside him. A weight. The anger was burning him alive, but he had no peace. No peace could be found when you unleashed the wrath of the storm. The thunder that had once been his ally now threatened to destroy him. You see, with great power comes even greater loneliness. As Shango's storm raged across the land, he started to realize something. His power, though mighty, was now isolating him. He was no longer just the king of thunder, he was the embodiment of wrath. Shango's wrath brought loss. It brought fear. It brought destruction. But what did it bring him in return? His brother was gone. His kingdom was in ruins. And Shango was left standing alone, surrounded by the chaos he created. The thunder had won the battle, but at what cost? His power, though unmatched, had taken everything from him. The lesson and emotional twist. Shango, for all his power, learned the hardest lesson of all. Sometimes, in the pursuit of vengeance, you lose yourself. Sometimes, in the desire to prove your might, you destroy the very thing you sought to protect. But there's a twist, my friend. Shango didn't die alone. His legacy didn't end in the ashes of his kingdom. The people who had once feared him began to remember him not just as a god of thunder, but as a god of wisdom. And his story, it's told today in every clap of thunder you hear. In every storm, in every flash of lightning, Shango lives on, reminding us that power without balance is a double-edged sword. If this story stirred something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you subscribe to Story Shrine, because we're not just telling stories, we're keeping them alive. Hit the bell icon to make sure you never miss another tale, because we've got plenty more where this one came from. And please, leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think happens when power is misused? I read every one, and it means the world to me. Let's keep these stories alive, together. Until next time, peace.